Hello everybody, how's it going? Our lesson today it's about input data, how to input data before we take cout object. And cout object it's about how to display data on that black screen or console screen. For example, we print our names and we print some information like that card information, and we did some operation also. We should display it on that black screen, console screen, through something called cout object insertion operator or less than. And after that, we take the variables. The previous lesson, it was about the variable and how to assign value to the variable, but hard-coded, we do it by ourselves to create or declare a variable. And we did equal, for example, if it was a string or a text, we create double quotation, we put name or any sentence we want or any text. If it was integer, the variable belong to integer data type, we do equal and we put after that any number 1 2 3 4. If it was float, for example salaries, 5.2 5.3. So we did the values by ourselves, we assign it to the variables by ourselves, we write it after we create or declare the variable. In the previous lesson, we will create the variable and we assign the values. We write equal, we put the values by ourselves, we called it hard-coded. But today we're going to know how to read the values that we were writing in hard-coded in the previous lessons. Today we're going to know how to read that values from the user through the console screen. For example, ask the user, what is your name? The user should insert his name when the console screen it's on or through the console screen, all right, on the black screen. So today we're going to know how to insert data or read data from the user. Let's go to see the syntax or the input syntax. All right, we have here input syntax. First thing, we have the source std : cn. Before we had std : cout. Cout stand for console output or character output, and cn stand for character input. All right, this is your monitor. And after that, you have the verb. Before we will have insertion operator or less than, but today we have to read, we have it greater than, or extraction operator. Before we have it less than insertion operator, and today we have it extraction operator or greater than. And after that, you have the object. This is the input syntax. All right, we have the object, we have it the variable. Why we have variable? Because we will use the empty variables that we will declare them to store the values that we read it from the user through the console screen, and we will store it into this variable. So when we will write cn greater than, we need after that to put the name of the variable. All right, and in the end we have a terminator, which is a semicolon to tell the compiler that this statement is finished. Please go check the second line of code. So what we have here, we have cn object with the greater than operator or extraction operator. It's used to input values to variable. As I said, now when you use cn object with greater than, you give command or order to the compiler that please insert the value or take the value from the user and insert it or store it inside specific variables that belong to the specific data types. So we have here now a small program, a hashtag include iostream, using namespace std. Don't forget to use using namespace std, because using namespace std, it's let you use the things or the objects that actually belong to std : For example, before we have cout, and now we have cn, and there is something we will take it, we still didn't take it, and now we have Victor and other things. All of them objects belong to the std : So if you want to use this object without writing std : anymore, we have to use or write this line of code using namespace std semicolon. I know that you already know it, I'm just remind you. And here we have integer main function, parentheses, curly bracket, my car, semicolon. We close the line of code. We not assign this variable my car any value. We leave it without equal, for example, a single quotation s, and we close it single quotation. No, we not assign my car variable any value, we leave it empty. And same for my number variable from integer data type integer. My number variable also, it doesn't has any value. Here now, cn greater than my car, cn greater than my number. But because we know that we should insert, if I did run to this program that I explained now, this program on the screen that you see it, if we did run to it, the compiler will open for us the console screen and it will be empty. We don't know what to insert. But because we know that we should to insert, like if there is any another user or any person do run to this program, the compiler will open for him or for her the console screen. It will be empty, so nobody will understand what should to do after that. But because we create this program, we know that we should to insert, after we did run, we should to insert a character, and we should to insert also as a users a number. And this is not readable code. It's not clean code, not readable. It should to be actually like this: hashtag include stream using namespace td, and here we have car my car, also the variable it's empty, and integer my number, also the variable it's empty. And to let the user understand what kind of data to insert, we will display to the user on that console screen, after we did run to the program, a question. How we display this question? Using cout object. Cout less than double quotation, please enter a character. Now am I the user? I understand that I should insert a character. I should to give the compiler data from kind character, because tell me please enter a character, and less than end line from that line of code to let the compiler or the user insert the answer or the data in another line of code, not next to the question. So don't forget to use inline or /n. And here we will use, after cout object and display question for the user, we will use cn greater than, we will put my car variable that is actually empty without value. And the compiler here will stop, will wait till the user insert the data, which is car, any car, f, m, s, anything. And after the user insert any character, compiler take it and store it inside my car variable. Compiler going to complete to display the another question for the user, which is cout less than, please enter a number. And the user now understand also that should insert a number. So cn greater than, after that, after this line of code, we write also another line of code, cn greater than my number. We will use my number variable because we want the user insert a number. We will use my number variable that actually belong to data type, integer data type. And to make it look nice in the end, we will complete with this line of code, cout less than, double quotation, you enter this car. We will use my car variable that actually the compiler is stored inside it, character that read it actually from the user through the console screen. So my car, it will not be empty as the beginning here. When you leave it empty, it will be already stored inside it a character that the compiler reads from the user here. And so when we will print here my car, or when we will call it here my car variable, it will print for us or display for us on console screen the character that the user actually inserted through the console screen or on the black screen. And after that, we will separate the text. We said if you want to separate text and variables names, we use less than, so don't forget this information. So we start cout less than, you enter this car just to make it look nice. You write this line of code. We will use less than, my car variable to print for us the character, and less than, double quotation, and this number, colon, double quotation, less than, we use my number variable to print for us or display for us the number that the user inserted through the console screen. So it will look like you entered this car S and this number 1, for example. And now let's go to see how this program gonna work. All right, this is our program. We have here car, my car, integer, my number, and these two variables, we didn't assign to them any values. We say we read the values from the user through the console screen. So we write here cn object. We use cn object greater than my car, and cn object greater than my number. All right. But this program, as we said, is not readable. For example, when you did run to this program, compiler will open for us the black screen and it will be empty. So any user in the world, it doesn't know what kind of value should insert when the console screen open. But because we know, because we create this program, we know that we should insert character and number. So let us do run to this program to see how it's look like. Perfect. The compiler open for us a console screen, black screen, and it's empty. So any user, any other user will not know at all what kind of data should or value should to insert. But because we said that we create this program, so we know we should insert a character, capital letter S, for example, and a number 20. So once I press enter on a keyboard, the compiler will print for us or display for us the values that we actually inserted as the users. Look, S and 20, correct. But to make it look nicer, as we said, and more readable, we will write here before the cn, we will use cout object to display questions for the user to let the program more clean and more readable. So cout less than, double quotation please, enter a character, question mark, and less than, double quotation /n. All right, and we will separate it from the another cn object. We will write here cout object less than, double quotation please, enter a number, question mark, less than, double quotation /n and semicolon. So now the program, it's become more readable. If I did run to this program, any user in the world will understand what kind of data should to insert. Great. Now the compiler open for us black screen and console screen and display for us the first question. Please enter a character. Now I understand as a user that compiler wants from me to insert any character. For example, capital M, capital letter M, and enter. Please enter a number. Also, the compiler needs from us to insert any number. All right, 30, number 30. And once I click enter on keyboard, the compiler will going to display for us the values that actually read it from us as a user right now. So exactly the compiler display for us the values that we inserted. Please a character, please enter a character or car M, please enter a number 30, so that values are correct. But to make it also more nicer, we will end it here. We will clear or delete these two lines of code here in the end, and we will just write this line of code: cout less than, double quotation, you entered this car, space, less than, we will use my car variable, and less than, double quotation, we say to separate text and variable names, we use less than, space, and this number, just to make it look nice, when it will be printed or displayed on the black screen or custom screen. And space, less than, we will use my number variable, less than in line. So if it is run to this program, let's see how it's look. Perfect. Now the compiler display for us the first question: please enter a character. S, capital letter, please enter a number, 50, and the compiler print for us the last line of code that we just tried right now. You enter this car, S, that's correct, we enter S, and this number 50, exactly, we enter also 50. So now you know how to display a data on console screen or black screen, and how to read data from the user through the console screen or the black screen. We have now a small homework. It's all, you already have it before. Let's get back to our slides and take it together. All right, this is our homework. The first homework that I want you to write a program to print this or display this information on console screen or black screen. But this time, I don't want you to assign these values to the variables by yourself. I don't want you to write it by yourself like hard-coded. I want you to let the compiler read these values from the user through the console screen, and I think you already know how to do it using cn object, correct? And to make it more readable, your program to make it more readable and to let the user know what kind of data insert it, you have to display some questions to the user using cout object. Exactly. So this is the first homework. We already take it before, but more we go further in the lessons in this roadmap, we will try to solve the same homework or new homeworks in different ways. All right, so the second homework we have that I want you to let the compiler read from the user this number, collect this number, all right, any number, 20, 30, 10, or any number you want to put, and do calculation, and the final result I want it to display like this shape or this paradigm on console screen. Also, we take this homework before, but this time I want you to let the compiler read the values, the numbers from the user through the console screen. Don't assign it by yourself, all right? Don't like do equal 20, equal 30 like before. No, let the variables empty and take the values from the user through the console screen. And the third homework uh, that I want you to let the compiler read, to write for me program, to let the compiler read from the user age, and add it 5 to it, and the final result of your program print or display on console screen this sentence or this text. After 5 years, you will be 30 years old, or depends about the user age that the user answer it. So that was the lesson of today, guys. See you next lesson. The next lesson, it will be the solution of these homeworks. We will solve these homeworks together. All right. So see you next lesson, guys. Ciao.